everybody, Heather from New Zealand here again. We're on to day 22, if you can believe it, of the Flylady system. If you want to hear some of the tricks of the trade for moving on through and getting to the end of the 31 days, well, keep watching and I'll tell you all about it. So, first of all, let's talk about our control journal. We started building that a little while ago now, and I hope that you've been adding to it. I hope that you've been making it your own and keeping it simple. You may have found a system by now that works well for you. It may be that you print things off the computer. Maybe you've made up a little spreadsheet, you print it off. You may prefer to have the plastic containers where you wipe off with the marker pen that wipes off and tick off that way. Whatever system works for you. I hope you're refining that and keeping that as your own. We have to remember that we want to keep it simple, we want to keep it easy, but we also want to do it so it brings us joy and it's a positive thing in our lives. So are you putting in those inspirational quotes and pictures and things like that? I really hope you are, because this little book is an important tool to keep us on track. I think I've referred to it some other times as my external hard drive. I find that I don't have to make decisions about what I'm going to do around my house all the time, because I've made those decisions. They're in the Flylady Control journal. I'm following the Flylady. I know what to do, and that takes a lot of stress off my mind. If I don't have to make those decisions, I can just go ahead and do what I need to do. So, question about the steps. We're working through the steps. How's it going? Is it working? Are you noticing any changes? Hang on, I'm just going to sit down for a moment while I chat. Noticing any changes? Are you doing all the steps? This is an interesting question. Are you doing all the steps that are in the journal? It could be, if you're not following all the steps, that it's not working as well as it should. You may have decided that, well, that step doesn't really apply to me because of my situation, or I don't want to do that, or there might be some other reason why you're not doing all the steps. Really look at those reasons, because this system works as a whole. It's not a system where you can take bits out of it and not do them. Like, if you're not shining your sink first thing in the morning, that's going to have an effect on everything else. If you're not getting dressed to shoes, that's going to affect everything else. And that's what all these steps in the Flylady are designed to do. They're designed to work well together. So remember that you need to do these things anyway, especially if you don't want to do them. Just do them. Just, get some backbone with yourself. Tell yourself quite firmly, this is what you need to do to get what you want. And what you want is a clean, organised, easy to look after house. To get that, you need to follow these steps. You need to make an effort. You need to push yourself at those times when you don't want to do it. Because I found from my experience that the times that I don't want to do something is usually the time where the major problem is. Like, for me, it's very hard to get that sink done at night. I really resist it. It's become a habit, but there are still days when I have to push myself through my resistance. And that little bit of a push gives me a whole load of reward the next morning when I wake up and I'm like, oh, yay, I don't have to do the dishes. I used to spend, if I didn't do the dishes at night, right, and the family's dishes had accumulated in the day, in the morning, after everybody go to school, this isn't a work day, and on a work day it wouldn't get done at all. It would take me till about 11 o'clock in the day to get the dishes done. 11 o'clock. That's half a day lost. Now, because I push myself to get that done at night, I have joy in the morning and I have my morning back. So I've got so much time to do other things. So what's the one habit that's a problem for you? Maybe pop it in the comments below and let me know what's your difficulty with a particular problem, and I might be able to help with that. So keep pushing yourself. Now with your 2-minute timer, and when you do a declutter, or when you do a hotspot, make that area, if you're able to, I mean, it might take you a number of times to maybe get the table clear or a bench top clear, I don't know, but when you get there, make it pretty somehow. Maybe put some plants on it, maybe put a lovely ornament on it, make it pretty, so that place in your home that had been a negative and had been mess and clutter, and you know, you look at it and you get a bad feeling, make it so that place can now bring you joy. You're going to turn it around. I mean, isn't that wonderful? An area of your home that was a negative, you can turn it into a positive. And I mean, that's actually fun. I love that part of doing the Flylady, is clearing a place and making something that looked like a garbage truck was needed and make it pretty again. Okay, so enjoy doing that. Now, another problem that I have had in the past, and I still have from time to time, is I get too tired to do these things. That excuse keeps coming up all over again and again and again, and I don't know how you feel about that one, whether that's one you find jumping out of your mouth quite quickly. I'm too tired to do it. How about the next time that happens to you, you look into why you're tired. Why are you tired? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you going to bed at a good time, but maybe looking and reading the newspaper or playing a game on your phone or your tablet till late? Are you actually getting enough sleep? Do you in fact need to have a nana nap? You know, I mean, I am quite capable of at 1 o'clock falling asleep for an hour during the day. My body likes a lot of sleep. But sometimes, I mean, the Japanese, I think, have this down to a T. You know, they take lots of power naps, lots of, you know, like we plug our phone in to recharge. We need to recharge too. So if you're tired, maybe you just need to have a little bit of a nana nap. Another thought of, and I know it's something that I fall into, this is why I'm bringing it up, is are you drinking enough? Are you drinking enough fluid? Or are you getting busy and distracted and forgetting to do that? That can be another cause of tiredness. And for us women also, and for men as well, but mostly for us women, what are your iron levels like? You know, you can be really, really tired if your iron isn't right. I remember at one stage my iron got really low, and I started taking a liquid iron supplement, and I couldn't believe the energy that I got when, after a couple of days of taking that supplement, I felt like a new person again. And it had really just been my iron, and it was that easy to fix. So it might be worth looking into what your iron levels are. Obviously I can't tell you, I'm not a doctor, or I haven't done a blood test, but maybe that's something to look into if you're tired all the time, because you know, we don't want to make life harder for something that could maybe be an easy fix. So that's it for today. Not much to put on our journal, although we want to keep making it nice, making it an enjoyable thing to look at and be part of. Not be part of, to look at and to use. Because, I mean, let's look at, we're looking at it in the morning, we're looking at it in the afternoon, we're looking at it in the evening, we're referring to it all the time. Make it pretty, make it lovely, and just push yourself that little bit more to get those things done without beating yourself up. That's the important message of the Flylady. Okay, if you need to start from the beginning of the system because you feel like you've kind of lost your way, go for it, just do it. If you've just found these videos and you're like, what is this woman on about? What are hotspots and what's a control journal? Jump back to video number 1. I'll have a link in it at the end of this video so you can do that. Subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate if you could support me in that way so I can keep making these videos, and we can keep connecting like this for as we keep going in the Flylady, because after the 31 days there's also a whole load of other things that we're going to talk about and learn about as well. Okay, bye from New Zealand, and I'll see you tomorrow.